Let's talk about the labor crisis that we face today. I'm an employer. I work with Larry to find people, to train them, to give them an opportunity. And that's a new role for me over the last 2 or 3 years. That's something I had never experienced before. I had always been the employee. I'd never had the perspective of the employer. We not only hire and train people to do the job of this industry, but also how to become self-employed. The income potential is no limit. I mean, you could take the skills and knowledge that you learn here and work part-time and make more money than most people do working full-time. Or you could build your own fleet and make millions of dollars. So it's a unique opportunity that we provide here. But hiring people in 2021 is an absolute nightmare. Imagine hiring an experienced truck driver. Experienced. That doesn't know how to read a road map. I didn't see that one coming. I've been in this business 25 years. The fundamentals of trucking were taught very clearly in the late 90s and early 2000s. But now, people are trained by these giant corporations that we as an industry, we gave them the responsibility. We delegated that to them, and now we're getting exactly what we deserve because of it. Because these corporations train people to sit down, shut up, and do what the little magic box on the dash tells you to do. You're not allowed to ask questions. You're not allowed to think logically. You're not allowed to think critically. You shut your mouth and do what you're told. And of course, they make policies that they have as a company sound like laws, and they straight up lie to people. They tell them things that aren't true, make it sound like it's legal. Now, y'all, we live in 2021. You've got access to all the world's known information in your pocket. You can get that little green book out that has the DOT regulations in it, and you can read it for yourself and find out if somebody's lying to you. But that's not what we do. That's what they told me, so it must be true. They're in a position of power and authority, so I have to do what they said because that's what they said. I'm just doing what I'm told. I'm not going to go research on my own. I'm not going to look for the answers. I'm not going to look for understanding. I'm not going to come at it from a different perspective or different angle. I'm just going to do what I'm told. Here's the thing. The people that we hire are not dumb. They're not deficient. There's nothing wrong with them. Matter of fact, it's quite the contrary. People that are at least interested in coming here are set apart from most people. The fact that they realize and understand that there's someone else that has knowledge and experience that they need in order to come and do this in a much less risky way sets them apart. So the fact that they're even watching the podcast, that they're even paying attention, makes a statement about who they are and their character. So what's the problem? The problem is they're brainwashed by 12 years of government school indoctrination, compounded with corporate mind control. We get people that come to us, I swear to God, they've got PTSD because they've been terrorized by these corporations, led to believe that they're one simple decision away from losing their job, which to me is hysterical from being in here 25 years. I mean, I've watched drivers do some really, really, really stupid stuff, but these companies are so desperate for drivers. Haven't you heard them screaming about the driver shortage? Driver shortage, driver shortage. Oh my gosh, that's all I've heard for 25 years. Yet it's only been in the last couple of years that the pay has actually come up that would actually reflect that there's a shortage of drivers. So the other day, a local barbecue restaurant close to my house puts up a post on Facebook. It was very snarky. also worked like a charm. And it said something to the effect of, well, this is a waste of time, but hey, we're hiring. Now, I believe there's a common belief that the reason that businesses are struggling to find help is because people are getting paid more on unemployment than they would by working a job. And I'm not disputing that. There's probably a lot of truth in that. But I also think there's probably a portion that are like, well, I'm not going to go work that job and be forced to wear a muzzle all day long. So I think that's some percentage of it. It's certainly a problem with the money that the government is manufacturing out of thin air and pumping into people's bank accounts that are keeping them. They have no motivation to leave the house and work. And if they did leave the house and work, they might make less than they would on the unemployment. But that's not really the problem. So there are a bunch of people that are butthurt in the comment section of this barbecue restaurant's post. Well, that's not a way to attract anyone. Well, it attracted all kinds of people, obviously, because outrage marketing works like a charm. But the question comes up in the comments. Well, do you pay a living wage? Living wage. So someone asks, well, what's a living wage? And a lady pops in and says, well, I live in West Virginia and I have 3 kids. So according to the experts at MIT, that's $30 an hour. $30 an hour to work at a barbecue restaurant. I bet you the owner of that restaurant don't even make $30 an hour. So there was some back and forth, and I did a little bit of trolling myself. But I eventually came back and told this lady, I said, look, here's a great idea. Why don't you go gather up the capital that it takes to start a business, and you can work the 100-plus hour weeks that it takes to keep it afloat, and you work all the shifts that are not covered by your living wage employees when they don't show up. And let me know how that works out for you. Because this brainwashing that's happened over the last close to 100 years, that businesses exist to create jobs for you. But that's not why businesses exist at all. Businesses exist to serve people. Some do it really well. Some don't do it very well. We were just having a conversation yesterday with our friend Rocky. There used to be a company called that made a product called Road King shocks. They were shock absorbers for big trucks, and they were really, really good products. And a lot of owner-operators really enjoyed that product, but their customer service was terrible, and they're now out of business. So when you cease to serve people as a business and you suck, you get to go out of business. But then the response is, well, I mean, if you're only going to pay $9 an hour, I can't live on $9 an hour. Yeah, I agree with you. I can't live on $9 an hour either. I would struggle to live on 20. So what am I going to do? Well, I'm either going to go work 2 $9 an hour jobs, and now I get 18. You know, I'm going to get the equivalent value to 18. But what if you as an individual, let's say you are a line cook, you work you have some skills, knowledge, and experience to work in a restaurant. Maybe that's your desire. It's what you love to do. Well, then it wouldn't be very difficult for you to go find a business that will pay you whatever you can get. Say it's $10. But you become excellent. You become the best. Well, now you're different. Now you're attractive to the business doing the same industry work. That's one of those businesses that serves really, really well and makes lots and lots of money. And you can go to them and say, listen, I've got this experience, and I have a passion for cooking, and I have a passion for working in the kitchen. How can I help you serve your customers better? I guarantee you that's not something that they hear often. What can I do to help you make your customer service experience even better. Well, now you're coming to the table with a different kind of value. Well, now maybe you get $15. Maybe you get $20. Maybe you get a piece of the action. Maybe they start to say, you know what, you're so excellent, you're doing such a good job, I'm going to put you in charge of this kitchen. I'm going to put you in charge of food costs. And if you lower the food cost and help me increase revenue, I'm going to give you a piece of the action. What if you end up being a line cook that makes $100,000 a year? Because you're different and you're special and you have set yourself apart from everybody else. That's just 15, 15, 15. Just give me 15. Just give me 15. Well, what if you can make yourself worth 30? Then you don't need someone, a group with guns, to go to the employer and put a gun to their head and say, all right, you now have to pay 15. What happens if you become worth 30? And they can only pay you 15 because, well, that's what they told me to do. I'm just doing what I'm told. See the pattern, cycle here? Cycle of I'm just doing what I'm told. I'm just doing what I'm told. I'm not motivated to do anything else. I'm not trying to do anything else. I'm not any different than anybody else. The only way that we're going to turn around this labor crisis that we face globally in 2021 is to begin understanding where value comes from. And value comes from serving people. You can serve them by mowing their grass, walking their dog, giving them a massage, painting their house, fixing their car, driving a truck, being a plumber. So we were sold this lie. I was sold this lie. I graduated high school in 1994. I was sold the lie. Just go to college and get a degree and everything will be fine. Well, I hate school. I hate the model. I love to learn. I love to learn. I've immersed myself in learning the last 10 or 15 years. And I love it, but I hate school. I hate the system. It bores me to tears. So I chose not to go to college, and instead, by accident, because I was a dart without feathers and had no direction and had no motivation, I ended up driving a truck. And after 25 years of strife and struggle, I finally learned out how to make a damn good living doing it. But we can fix this problem. But it begins on the individual level. You got to stop thinking that somebody is going to give you something that they don't have. So people in suits that write words on paper and vote on them, they don't have any jobs to give you. You don't need a job. You need a calling. You need a mission. That's what you need. A job, that's for like indentured servants. That's busy work to keep you distracted. Here's a job. Shut up. Take this job and shut up. No, take this job and shove it. Go find that thing that you love. Go find that thing that makes you excited to get out of bed in the morning and go do it for somebody else. Somebody needs what you as an individual have to offer. But if you never develop it, you never build it, you never exercise it, you'll never get anything back from it.